Guys, the news just keeps piling and piling and piling on top of CD Projekt Red. We've covered everything. We've covered all the lead up, all the mystery, all the misleading information that CD Projekt Red did. They brought this on themselves. We're covering the refund situation, them not being completely honest. But now they have lost a lot of wealth because of this situation, because of how this came to fruition. And keep in mind, this is their fault because they did not come honest about base console editions. Let's read this article from Bloomberg. Cyberpunk 2077 debacle cost founders $1 billion of wealth. A billion, guys. Holy potatoes. So it says the technical glitches plaguing CD Projekt's Cyberpunk 2077 game have cut more than $1 billion off the wealth of the company's founders. Perhaps more seriously, the quality first image of the studio has been shaken and may not be easy to win back. Definitely may not be easy to win back, especially because they purposely withheld console reviews from being out there, console footage, previews, anything console related from being out there. They purposely didn't want people to play it, talk about it. They only had PC reviews out there that were shining 5 out of 5s and 9 out of 10s. They were scumbags in this. And I like the game. I'm going to admit, I like Cyberpunk, but this is inexcusable. They did this on themselves, guys, at the end of the day. No matter which way you try to twist it, they did this to themselves. So it says CD Projekt shares plunged by a third over the past 6 days as the number of bugs plaguing the highly anticipated futuristic game prompted an apology from the firm and an offer for refund of gamers on previous generation consoles. Short sellers have also started targeting the stock with short interest up from less than 1% of free float in September to 8.3% on Monday, according to Markit data. So, my gosh, look at this pie chart. I love pie charts. This is some alarming news. Again, they brought this on themselves. This whole situation has been just a complete mess that could have easily been avoided had they been a little bit less misleading. And that investor call the other day didn't do any good favors for them as well. So it says the story of college dropouts who built one of Europe's biggest gaming studios has inspired other polls to try and emulate them, flooding the Warsaw Stock Exchange with similar offerings. The founders' joint 34% stake was valued at about $3 billion on Tuesday's market value. The three executives, Marcin Iwinski, Adam Kaczynski, and Piotr Nielobowicz, sorry, I'm not familiar with all these names, along with the fourth majority owner, Michael Kaczynski, have joined the ranks of the wealthiest Poles thanks to the stellar rally and CD Projekt shares. However, they now face a fight to salvage the studio's reputation, and trust me, they have a lot of salvaging to do after this launch of consoles, and prove that Cyberpunk will also be playable for owners of older gen consoles, which are much more common than the just released new ones. So yeah, they got a lot of explaining to do. If Ricky Ricardo was here, he'd go, CD Projekt Red, you got a lot of explaining to do. So now, here's what he says. This is what Thomas says. There's now a huge scar on the reputation of both the studio and its management, who's an analyst at BOS Bank SA, said in an email. Thomas Rodak. In only a couple days, CD Projekt fell from the most adored studio to the most hated one, and that is putting it lightly, honestly. Restoring trust is not impossible, but would need much time and effort. And now we got some estimate cost. So analysts vary on their assessment of long-lasting consequences for the studio, which is relying heavily on the new title. I mean, this was their moneymaker for the next couple years, guys. This was going to be their moneymaker. They agree that the pace of fixing bugs would be crucial for revenue, even as opinions about the PC version look much better. The average forecast for 12-month sales fell to 25.6 million copies, from almost 30 million copies expected before the December 10th release, based on 9 refreshed estimates collected by Bloomberg News. The stock stopped its free fall on Tuesday, rising 2.5% at 2:02 p.m. in Warsaw. This is bad news, man. The problems are particularly acute on older generation consoles. Sony quotes PlayStation 4 and Microsoft's Xbox One, with reports indicating the game's engine isn't working smoothly on weaker machines. Now, I played on Series X, and it works pretty decent for the most part. Give or take Skyrim-ish bugs. Nothing too game-breaking, but yeah, it's very underperforming on base consoles. This is what IGN said right here, by the way. If your only option right now is playing Cyberpunk 2077 on either of the base console platforms, highly suggest you don't play it all until its many terrible performance issues are fixed. Popular Games website IGN said, recommending that players apply for a refund. The site separated its mostly positive PC review from the negative console version assessment, saying it's a different game entirely. Now, the refunds aren't so easy to come by. It's been revealed that CD Projekt Red failed and led another misled thing that allowed people to be misconceptions about if they can get refunds from Sony or Xbox rather easily when you can't. You still have to go through the policies of those stores. People are having a lot of problems and stuff. It just seems that there's a lot of misconceptions going out with this game, and again, most of it is attributed to CD Projekt Red's actions and lack of actions. It says brokers including Morgan Stanley and Barclays PLC are now predicting that a multiplayer component of Cyberpunk, crucial for long-term sales, may take longer to prepare. The studio plans to release a strategy update in the first quarter of 2021. So they do have some patches coming to fix the glitches and everything, but is it a little too late? Did they ruin their reputation? It remains to be seen. I think a lot of people honestly lost faith in this. I've seen the conversations in my chats. People are not happy in this at all sides around. Apparently they made enough to pay for their cost of development, but with all these refunds coming in, is that going to change? Could CD Projekt Red go out of business because of this? They've beaten a couple records. They were number 2 in sales in the UK. They had most concurrent players in Steam, but now there's a lot of backlash coming. The stock is going down. Wealth is going down. Reputation is going down. It remains to be seen what's going to come out of this within the next 6 months or the next year. Again, the multiplayer is supposed to be coming out eventually. You got the next gen upgrade coming out. Is there a way to salvage this? It's going to take a lot of work. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Love to hear what you guys have to say. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one.